Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Father, the Son, and the Podcast. My name is Ian. I am the Son.
My name is Paul, and I am the Father.
And this is our podcast. We talk about a few things this episode, more than I thought we would. What are some things we talked about, Pops? Give them the highlights.
Well, we talked about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
We did.
That was good. Give our little review on that. We also discussed, went off on a little tangent
On
about
social
media.
Wild,
and
man.
its impact on today's society. We also discussed My Hero Academia.
We did.
Yeah, the episode.
Also,
And what else am I missing?
one thing before everything that we talked about. More Luke Cage. You watched more Luke Cage.
Yeah, I watched some more Luke Cage.
Couple
And then
more
I
episodes.
ended up with... I also offered another recommendation. It was not a movie recommendation, but it was
That's
a television series recommendation.
And next week, we won't have as many segments. We'll actually just have one segment. We're going to be talking about The Last Jedi, because both of Dad and I each rewatched it. So we're going to talk about just that because I will be on vacation. So we don't have much content. We're just going to do that. So you guys have at least something next week. So yeah, on to the show.
Hey, I watched some more Luke Cage.
Yeah? What'd you think of it? How many episodes did you watch of it?
3.
You watched 3 more episodes? Or you're up to episode?
I'm on episode 3.
You finished episode 3?
I finished episode 3. Yeah.
Okay, so you're on episode 4.
Yeah, my next episode will be number 4.
So you watched 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at the same point now. We're killing it, man. We're getting through this. What do you think after the 2 episodes you watched?
So far, so good. Actually, I like. I think it's an intriguing character for the Bushmaster.
Yeah, right. I think he's really cool, and so that's what I was saying about he feels kind of like Taskmaster to me, because he was like watching back the video of Luke fighting, and he was doing all these kung fu moves around a bunch of candles.
Right, capoeira.
So I think
that's the karate he was. Well, that was the martial arts he was using.
But he was like studying Luke and how he moves, and he's going to use that against him. So I think the fight scenes between those two is going to be really interesting.
Right.
And I'm excited for that.
It's
I still hate Mariah.
It's more mystic than it is like a mutant power.
Which I like.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Which
right.
that was a similar thing with in Iron Fist, the I forget the guy's names, but he kept dying and coming back to life. He was like working with the hand.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So it's more to that whatever you want to call it, Jamaican, right? The Jamaican.
Yeah.
But that taboo, that kind of mystic or witch doctor kind of stuff.
Yeah, which I like.
You can get some superpower or whatever from some mixing up some spirits and tapping into the spirit world.
Yeah, which I like a lot. It's probably it's probably something to do with the hand. He probably is in it with the hand, because everybody is.
Probably.
That's how it is, though. I think I still really want Cottonmouth to come back. I miss him so much.
Yeah, I'm not really liking the Alfred Woodard character.
Shades?
Stokes. Shades is kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shades
I was thinking
out of
Shades.
Alfred Woodard.
I was thinking Shades. That's why.
Yeah. Jeez.
No, but I don't like Mariah at all. I can't stand Mariah. I have not liked Mariah since season 1, and I still don't like her now.
Yeah, Mariah. And there's also there's got to be a backstory there with her and Bushmaster, because Bushmaster refuses to call her by her married name or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Gillett. He keeps calling her Stokes, and she doesn't like it. So that backstory will probably develop in the next few episodes.
Man, what I think would be real cool, since everybody is apparently characters can come back to life.
Right.
It's happened before. Like Agent Coulson has come back to life with them just poking around in his brain, and he was back alive. So you could do something with Cottonmouth, where he had like made a deal with the hand, where if anything happens to him, they'd bring him back for a price or something, and you could have him come back. I think that'd be cool.
Right.
Bring back Cottonmouth.
But again,
he was so good.
Luke Cage is another one of those. It seems to be a theme that's running that. When you read about these characters in the comics, they were pretty much invincible. But in the live action stuff, they're not.
He's pretty invincible
kind of like
now,
that
though.
thing we talked about, Superman, where his weakness was kryptonite, which is supposed to be from this distant planet.
Yeah, but
there's an abundance of it, right? So now these superheroes that are supposed to be invincible all can be hurt, which is kind of interesting.
I like it better. Because then there's stakes. Otherwise, there's no stakes, and that's why I find Superman so boring a lot of the time. Is because there's no stakes because you know he's just going to get out of it. But like that thing with the Judas bullet in season 1, where you see Luke get hit, you're like, "Oh no!" And they completely take that away in this season, which was cool. It's like he's evolving or he's getting stronger.
So that's a storyline that, like you said, I didn't understand it at first, but then after I watched the first episode where the Judas bullet didn't hurt him, where he got shot again, and then you're like, wait a minute, is this like to your point? So his body's ever evolving or mutating to the point where he can, every time he faces something, his body's going to learn how to defend against it.
Maybe. Who knows?
It can become, make it non-effective.
It could also be that it was just a fake Judas bullet, too. Like, it wasn't a real one. And the guy was sold fake. Because they were getting, like, the weapons from people. They were buying all these prices, so it could be like a scam. The guy's like, I'll sell these Judas bullets because everyone's going to want to take down Luke Cage. But really, they're not Judas bullets. I don't think that's the case. I think he is just stronger now. And I think it's going to build towards him being...
Power Man?
Cocky in this season is what I was getting to. Yeah, I mean Power Man, obviously. But
he's already getting cocky.
Dude, I think the third episode where he was like fighting with Claire, I was like, what are you doing, you idiot? She's completely right.
Well, that was the same episode when he got beat down by the Bushmaster.
No, he didn't fight the Bushmaster.
Yeah, he did on the street. You haven't seen that episode. Maybe I'm an episode ahead of you.
Maybe you are.
The Bushmaster... Well, okay, spoiler alert.
Oh, well.
The Bushmaster hands him a beatdown in the middle of the street.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Knocks him out. Gives him a concussion.
Yeah, Claire was talking to him, and he's like arguing with her about it. I was like, no, dude, she's right.
Did you see where he punched through the wall?
Last thing I saw was he went to Bushmaster's hideout, and there was like a bunch of people around him in a circle, and they were just getting their ass handed to him.
Yeah, so after that, he went back to Claire's apartment, got into an argument with her. He punched a wall, a hole in her wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
probably the next episode.
Maybe, I thought it was the next.
Because the end of that episode.
No, because then he's walking down the street and he gets beat up by the Bushmaster.
Oh, I saw him just get punched, actually, I think.
Yeah, the next episode.
Okay. He gets like laid out by him. Yeah, I do remember that part, but that was it. It wasn't like a full beat down. Then
he gets back up and he goes to fight him, and then the Bushmaster puts a beat down on him, and then ends up knocking him out.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, so see, now there's stakes, because if he was just invincible, it'd be boring. Like season 1, there was a lot of fight scenes with Luke Cage, but it was just him throwing a bunch of guys around, and it was like, okay, this was cool the first time, but now it's just the same thing over and over, and we've seen this 1,000 times this episode. So when you give somebody that edge on one of the heroes, it adds stakes to it.
Right. Much
like All Might and the Nomu, because the Nomu was made specifically to counter All Might, and you're like, this guy's taking all these hits and nothing's happening to him. And then All Might has to overcome that. Like it's no fun, it's not entertaining, it's boring.
Right.
If they're just unstoppable. Although there are ways to make an unstoppable character entertaining. But comedically is the only ways I've seen it happen. Like in One Punch Man, the main character is called One Punch Man because he defeats everybody in one punch, without fail, every single time, one punch and they're done. And the whole arc, the whole story of the show is this guy just trying to find somebody who's worthy of a fight, and he also doesn't care. He could easily be the #1 hero, but he just doesn't care enough. He just wants to do this for fun.
Right.
And he is just laying out these villains. Did a similar thing to what All Might did. He throws a punch and changes the weather. And he's just like, well, I'm going to go back home and play video games. And that's just what he is. That's it, man. That's all it is.
One Punch Man.
It's so funny, dude. I think you'd like it. I think you'd think it was so stupid, but I think you'd like it. One Punch Man. Yeah, Luke Cage. So far, so good. I'm liking it better than I like season 1.
Yeah, actually, this is one of the few that I actually like the second season better than the first. So
yeah, I agree. There's only been 3 shows that have had a second season out of the 6 that there are.
Right. So far, this is part of the better of the 2 seasons.
Right. I agree. So far, we're only 3 to 4 episodes in.
Right.
Speaking of Marvel, that was a good segue, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Speaking of Marvel,
Segways are for kids.
we saw segues are for mall cops.
So get to the segue.
I did the segue. Well, Ant-Man and the Wasp. We saw that movie this week.
Yes.
Last week. What'd you think of it overall?
I liked it.
I did too.
I thought it was again, as I always say, it's if the movie entertains me, then I always give it a positive review.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It was entertaining. It was still had that same kind of humor it had in the first one. Paul Rudd plays a great character.
Dude, honestly, Paul Rudd's always golden.
Yeah,
he's so
never
good.
had a brilliant. I've never seen him in a bad role.
Yeah,
he's a really good kind
he's so
of
funny.
comedic straight man. Actually,
when Ant-Man was coming, the first Ant-Man, when that was coming out, he had he did a promo with Stephen Hawking where he played quantum chess with Stephen Hawking, and they were going to give a speech at a college or something, and Stephen Hawking was going to do it, and Ant-Man, Paul Rudd he says, no, I should do it because I'm an Ant-Man and I'm doing all this quantum stuff. So he was like, you know what? I'll play you in quantum chess, and if I beat you, then it was like a 10-minute thing, but it was real good and real funny and real charming.
Yeah,
As Paul Rudd is.
It was tough for me to follow at the end of the movie. So I thought it was cool that they went into the whole...
spoilers, Pops.
Yeah. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Okay.
And then we do spoilers.
Gotcha. So
I
liked the storyline.
It was charming.
Yep. It was interesting. It was funny.
It was funny. It was really funny.
I thought there was no real weak character in the whole movie. So
something one of the podcasts I listened to had said is this movie has a parent and child dynamic in it, but that dynamic doesn't result in the parent disappointing the child, which happens they're not missing events for the child. They're not showing up late to things. They're not forgetting birthdays. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not following you. Go ahead.
Okay, for example, Spider-Man is a great example. One huge thing about Spider-Man is it's difficult for him to balance the hero life and the Peter Parker life. Mm-hmm. He always disappoints people and etc. But in this, Ant-Man is doing that. He's like, I don't know if I should do this. He's talking to his daughter. He's like, I don't know if I should do this because I don't want to disappoint you. And she's like, no, go be a hero. He set up that whole thing in the house.
Yeah, because he was under house arrest.
I understand that, but he was like, it wasn't like he just didn't. He was trying hard, and you could see that he was trying hard, and he was succeeding too. I like that it wasn't him letting his daughter down the whole time,
right?
And it was him no, this is for my daughter,
right. No, I get that. Then,
as a parent, Dad, how did you feel about the father-daughter dynamic?
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was so cute.
He he did everything. It's like that kid that movie. You see it a lot of times in movies where you have the parent that it's not taking them on trips. It's just creating entertainment and rides within your house out of cardboard boxes and using your imagination is what I was struggling to come up with.
Yes,
but yes. So. And we talk about that all the time, like when you were growing up.
Yeah.
We'd go out and buy all these toys, and what did you play with? Pots and pans and Tupperware. So it's like you buy all these Fisher-Price things and these games that are supposed to stimulate your mind, and you're over there playing with pots and pans and Tupperware and banging your head on the door. So
this is true. This all happened.
And you were thoroughly
jumping
entertained.
off my top
The best
bunk.
thing I ever gave you was a big box.
The best thing you ever gave me...
Big cardboard box, and you and your sister would spend hours inside that box.
I'm going to have to disagree with you and say Legos were the best thing.
No, I'm telling you.
Because I don't play with boxes much anymore, but I'll still put a Lego set together.
Well, I hope not, but you get my meaning. So I think, and that's a lot with a lot of things today, really. Technology in itself.
Technology is great, but imagination.
It's making a disconnected society, quite honestly.
But you cannot deny that
as much as people are connected through technology, they haven't really learned. They're losing their effectiveness in communication because they don't know how to talk to people in person very well.
Sure, I can see where you're going with that.
Where you at? What's up? How you doing? Hey, let me show you this picture.
Yeah.
There's no
I
real
had-
dialogue anymore.
I had 4 friends over last night, all of which I met on Twitter. I had no idea they existed if it weren't for Twitter.
Tell you what school.
No, I went to one in 8th grade, but I hadn't seen since then. Forgot about him for the most part.
Right.
And if it weren't for Twitter, I would have not ever got back in touch with him.
True. I mean, I'm not denying that there's some positive
Yeah.
aspects of technology, but I think overall, I also feel that
That goes with anything and
it's
everything.
people, and maybe you've noticed that people with this, they're more and more like they're not very civil.
Okay, but that goes with everything. Cars are great because you can get to places a lot faster than walking or on horse or on bike, but people use it so irresponsibly. They crash and kill people all the time. You can say that about anything. And cars are technology, by the way. A pencil is technology. Anything that is made to make things easier is technology. You're talking about social media.
Yes. So
Yes.
good point. Good point of clarification.
Yes.
I am specifically speaking to social media.
Yeah,
As you know,
Right.
I'm not a big fan of it to begin with.
I understand.
So it's great for people to exchange information with family members that you don't get to see on a regular basis. But I also think it creates a level of anxiety.
I think
too many people rely on, hey, how come I only got like 5 likes? And they take it
Yeah,
out.
listen, man. I
all
think
that
that
stuff.
I think that relies on just bad parenting. Honestly, because think about it. All the time on YouTube, people in the comment section are just terrible, tearing people up apart for no reason, spending hours of their day just trash talking people for no reason. And then I'm
Because
on
there's no
YouTube,
repercussions.
and then I'm on YouTube. If I see a YouTube video I don't like, I move on.
You
I
don't-
go to the
you-
next
you
video.
just don't-
I don't
just don't
care.
comment. Yeah.
I don't care. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
So it all comes down to how that person was raised. It has nothing to do with social media itself.
Through texting, through email, through comment sections on social media, everybody's a tough guy.
Dude, there is one
Everybody's
time.
a tough guy. They will say stuff
Listen,
they would
no,
not say in person.
But listen, there was one
because
time.
there's no repercussion.
I can only think of one time where
There's
I was
no
truly
consequence.
terrible to someone online. And you saw it and it was like, don't do this, you idiot. And then I've never done it since then.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come down to social media. It comes down to how people are raised and taught to use it.
Yeah, it's also a lot more difficult for parents to parent because unless we literally are cloning your phone and watching everything you do online, it's difficult.
Yeah, sure.
I can limit access, or I tried to when you were younger. I can't do it now. But I couldn't monitor everything you did.
No, I know. I understand.
It's not like, hey,
But
you gotta go play in the backyard, and you're just in the backyard playing.
Same thing, but here's a similar thing. When you were younger, you would just go out. Your parents would know you're going out. They didn't know what you were doing.
No. Nope. They didn't.
Exactly. Exactly what
I was
I'm
completely
saying.
unsupervised.
Exactly what I'm saying.
But it was different.
It's a new
time.
and it's a different time now.
Yeah.
It's one is just people being mean to each other online, saying bad words. One is you literally cutting your head open on a card window. Like,
Yep.
yeah, so it's different times. Yes, one can argue that now is safer than it was when you were a kid. You could also argue that it's worse now. It all depends on perspective.
Right. Well, there was more people looking out for other people. People weren't afraid to.
Another great thing about the internet, Pops, is think of all the money that's been raised for things.
True.
Like, you can get your word out a lot easier, whether it be good or bad. You can get your word out a lot easier online.
Right. I think it's just. I'm just saying.
It all depends on how people use it. That is all I'm saying. You cannot say that something is just inherently bad because it is not bad. It is the people who use it are bad and they use it badly.
Right.
But that doesn't make the thing bad. You can have
nothing.
You can have a knife and you can use that to cut vegetables to cook for people to feed them.
Fair enough.
You can also have a knife to kill someone with. It doesn't. The object itself is not bad. It's how people use it that makes it bad.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well said.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is good, right?
Wow. Oh, is that what we were talking
That's
about?
what we were
originally?
talking about.
Amazing. We just totally.
Yeah.
Dug.
Anyway, I love the growing and shrinking effect in the movie.
Yes.
So it's like in the comic, it's like that is ripped straight from the pages of the comic.
Yeah, how
that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
I love that effect. I've loved it since the first one. I think the growing and shrinking was used great. Like the fight scenes.
The fight scenes.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
The kitchen fight scene with the wasp at the beginning. Great.
Right.
And she like throws the salt, makes the salt big. Apparently a lot of action things were spoiled in the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer, so it was all a surprise to me. It was great.
I don't watch trailers anymore.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
It's great. The only time I watch a trailer is if I'm in the
at
theater.
The theater.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to be that jerk that like tries his hardest to avoid it, but I'm not going to if on YouTube it's like new trailer for this movie, I don't care.
Right.
I don't need to see that. I know I'm going to see the movie regardless.
Especially any kind of Marvel movie or Star Wars
any movie you know you're going to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't watch a trailer for it.
Right.
If you don't want to
see it anyways, right.
If you don't want the movie to be ruined for you, if you don't want to complain about the trailer spoil this and that, don't watch the trailer.
Yep, I agree.
It's all you have to do. It's not hard. Hank Pym was great in this. He was real funny in this.
Yes.
Louise is
Michael
back.
Douglas.
Louise is back.
He made the movie.
He
made the movie. He absolutely did.
That scene where he tells
True
another
serum.
story.
Oh,
tells
God.
another story.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
The true serum. You know what it reminded me of is when they were interrogating him and they gave him that serum.
Yes.
That they were going to call it a truth serum, and then they asked him.
Yeah, at the end.
What did that scene remind you of? See if we're on the same path. What scene did that when he started to ramble? What did that remind you of?
Not then, but now, Princess Bride. Is that what you're getting at?
No, not at
then
all.
No, I don't know.
Goonies.
Oh my God! With Chunk.
With Chunk.
Oh my! Yes, yes, 100%. Yes, that's my favorite scene in the Goonies.
Right, and this is what.
Oh my God!
I swear, when I was watching it, they took it from that.
That's so funny, and I love it. Like and they did it well enough where I didn't notice. I've seen Goonies countless times. That's my favorite scene in the movie, and that didn't even occur to me when
Chunk gets interrogated.
Oh my!
When I was watching the interrogation scene with Louise and the
I forget the name of those guys.
Whatever it was. So they gave him like a serum that was it ends up being a true serum. And when they ask him, tell us
like where he is, he's like tell us. Oh yeah, tell us where. I don't want to spoil the joke, but he says tell him where he is. He just starts rambling, and it's great. It's so good.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, tell us where he is, literally.
Yeah, he goes into like this emotional state. Yeah.
It was so good.
But now anybody who hasn't seen it, when you see the movie and you've seen Goonies, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yes, that was wow. I didn't even put that together. Who else was in this? What were some other good parts in this movie?
Well, Michelle Pfeiffer makes an appearance as the mom.
The cop, the FBI agent that was like looking over Scott Lang. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
He was so funny.
Yeah.
He was like bumbling, but he was still he could still do his job,
Yeah, and of course the Wasp.
Yeah, oh my goodness, of course. The
What's
other
her name,
title
Lily?
Character. No, not Lily. It's Hope.
No, but what's her real name?
Oh, the actor?
Yeah, actress. Is
whatever.
Lily something, right?
I don't know.
Evangeline Lilly.
Yes. You're right.
Oh, Lily Evangeline.
No,
whatever.
you were right the first time. Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was great.
Yeah,
she was incredible in this. Right. There were a lot of really
the funny parts is when they're in the car and they're driving and they're talking and they're flying and you think and then they show an outside shot of the car and it's like a matchbox going down the street.
Yeah. That was cool.
All kinds of funny stuff like that.
I think we're getting a bit loose here, so we're final words on the movie before we go into spoilers.
Go see it.
Yeah, go see it. It's a lot of fun.
You won't be disappointed.
I wouldn't say
if you like the first Ant-Man, you'll definitely like this one.
I wouldn't say rush out to see it. Like if you're like I need to see this now. I wouldn't say like make it.
If you're going to the movies though, I'd say hey, let's go see the Ant-Man.
It's worth seeing.
Yeah,
it's worth seeing. It's a fun time. Yes,
we did.
Now spoilers. Oh, we should have talked about the villain and not whatever. We should have talked about the villain a bit more. How did you feel about Ghost though? Because first off, I thought the effect for her and the costume
was
were
awesome.
Sick.
Yeah,
those were both so cool.
Yep.
The character itself was good.
Yep. She was torn emotionally and physically. Torn apart. Yep.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
And I like the way. Yeah, I really like her character a lot.
And how I like how the fact that it all comes around. They try to help her in the end.
And I also like how I forget the guy's name. The one who was like working with her.
Played by Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
Yeah.
He she was like, we can get the daughter, and he's like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
There is not I don't care how much I hate Hank Pym.
Yeah,
you are not touching that girl. Like I was like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, touching the like the Paul Rudd's daughter.
Yes, and the other villain, the guy the one with the accent with the two goons and the truth serum, he was fun.
Yep.
The other villain of the movie.
I know what you're saying. I
Yeah.
can't think of his name either.
I like him a lot. I thought he was real fun.
Got, like other stuff in my head right now from what I just watched. So.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun though. I really enjoyed his character. Like I think this movie needed someone who was just evil because you have Ghost who's like torn, and she's good or bad or know
right.
She's bad. She's bad, but for good reasons type of thing.
Right.
And then you have this guy that's just bad and like just somebody that everybody can hate on. But I loved it. It was so fun. He was so funny. He had all the scenes he was in was like funny. Same thing. Like this whole movie was funny. When Paul Rudd just shrinks to a kid when he's in the school.
Yeah.
That
reminded me of. Well, he doesn't go all the way down, so he only shrinks.
Yeah.
And then he can't control the size.
Yes.
So it reminds me of like when you were watching Elf.
Oh yes,
it was the same bodies.
Yes.
How they actually made adult full-grown actors into elves.
It was good though because he's like trying to reach the backpack and he can't.
Yeah.
It was good. It was real funny.
Right.
And what else? Oh, the Matchbox thing. The Matchbox cars you mentioned.
Right.
How it's just they're in literally a Matchbox like car wheel, and they just pick it out and throw it on the ground. And you just pick any car you want. The building was cool how it shrunk down.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And they just wheels it away.
Yep. It was like a briefcase. That was so cool.
Right.
And then we saw Giant Man again. And he passed out and fell in the water.
Right. She had so, hey, go back to the building real quick, though.
Yeah.
So, what's funny is it would shrink down. This is kind of like a little cinematic thing, right? But where were the wheels? If he picks it up, he pops up the top and rolls it away like a roll-away suitcase, right?
Yeah.
But where is that when it enlarges?
So you actually see the handle, at least at the end it enlarges and the handle is still sticking out. The wheels, I can just what I assume, honestly, I didn't think that much of it, but what I assumed was happening is there is some sort of mechanism that like tucks him in or something. Yeah. I'm sure he has that plan, or the wheels don't change size, and they just stay at the bottom.
Oh, they're at the bottom of the
yeah. That's actually a good call. Whatever.
So,
my microphone fell again.
Yep. Lisa, is it on?
Is it on?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Hello? It's still on.
Good.
So the Wasp, the old Wasp.
The old
What's her
Wasp?
name? What's her name?
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, but what's her name? The character.
Yeah.
Janet. Saw her again. She's got magic powers, kind of.
She's been in that quantum realm for so long that she's become part of it.
Where did she get that coat that she was wearing?
She probably manufactured it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She
looked like a Jedi at that point.
Yeah.
She even had like a little blade or whatever.
Which was cool. She made out of the wings on her suit. Did you notice?
Yeah, I did.
That was cool. That was like that's a cool detail, a nice detail that you have. The quantum realm was cool, and that whole sequence where he's traveling through and the screen is kind of like he's kind of glitching out. That was cool. I like that a lot.
Right.
The ghost fight scenes were really good.
Yeah, because she's phasing in. They're going
shrinking and growing.
It was pretty well done, actually. Pretty well choreographed.
What else was good in this movie, Pops?
Well, let's get to the ending, right? So
the ending?
Yeah, the ending.
Like
where
the post-credit scene ending, or the ending of the movie?
Post-credit scene where they send Paul Rudd into the quantum realm, right?
To get more healing particles.
He gets the healing particles, and then all of a sudden he can't, on his end, in the quantum realm, he can't hear anybody. So,
and the three of them turn to ash.
The ash because of the
Thanos,
the Thanos thing. So,
were you, because
that's probably specifically why Ant-Man was left out of Infinity Wars.
No, I think he was left out because it wouldn't make sense for him to be in it. Because he didn't know what was going on. Like, he's been on house arrest. He hasn't
hasn't talked to anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes more sense then now to think of it.
And I don't know if he is in New York. either. Does he? I don't know if he lives in New
San
York.
Francisco.
Yeah, and the Infinity War stuff happened in New York. So
All right.
it wouldn't
right,
have made
right.
any sense for him
True.
to get there.
All right, so now it makes sense.
Yeah. So, but I going into this movie, and actually after watching Infinity War, like after that all that happened, I was thinking, oh, the next movie is Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's going to take place right before Infinity War, and the post-credit scene will happen right after Infinity War. So going into this movie, I was like, I want to see who is going to die. Going in immediately, first thing I had. I think Holly was like, I forgot about that completely. I was like, nope, I've been waiting for that the entire movie.
Yeah, that was a good call on this.
Mm-hmm. Were you expecting? Like, were you waiting for that scene, or did you
No,
forget
I totally
about
forgot about
Yeah.
it. So I wasn't even thinking of timelines. That's what I told you. At the end when I saw it, I'm like, how does this fit in?
Yeah, it's so weird. The choice of characters that die is so weird because I wouldn't have expected. I would have loved to see the Wasp in part 2 of Infinity War, because obviously Ant-Man's going to be in part 2 now. He's going to get there somehow.
Right. You think?
Yeah, Janet had. You think he's stuck in the quantum realm, right? But Janet had mentioned something about like watch out for the time vortex. So I think he's going to fall into one and come out of the quantum realm and be in whatever time. But I think he will get out.
He's going to have the healing powers and be able to like bring them all back.
Yeah, I don't know if the healing powers is going to bring him back though.
Yeah.
Do you think the quantum realm is what saved him, or do you think it's just by coincidence?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Thanos can't get into the quantum realm.
Yeah, which would,
or because it was only, don't forget, it was half the population.
which is why I said by coincidence. Do you think, like I said, do you think it was because he was in the quantum realm, or do you think it was just coincidence?
Coincidence.
I hope it's because he was in the quantum realm, because that would add a really cool dynamic to the whole thing.
I think it was. Well,
I think it was coincidence because it adds that dramatic tension to, oh no, he's stuck in there now.
Right.
But I think there is potential for the quantum realm to be the reason why he survived.
Right. So I'm going to go with it was just a coincidence.
So there's actually a theory for why Spider-Man took so long to die, because he was so powerful. So he was kind of like he was fighting it off, and then he faded away. Because Nick Fury is not the type of person to, when Nick Fury very much knew he was dying. He knew what was going on. There's no way he didn't in Infinity War. There's no way Nick Fury's last thing he does before his imminent death was to call somebody for help that only has a 50% chance of answering and being alive, right? Like he had to know this person is here. Like they
Right.
will survive. So there's a few, so that could add that could the Spider-Man thing could back up that, where
So he called Captain Marvel.
yes. So the Spider-Man being powerful, and that's why he didn't die. So like he didn't die quickly, is because he was so powerful. So it could add to like the Captain Marvel thing, where she was able to fight it off because she's so incredibly powerful. Or she's in another dimension or something, or another realm, or something like that.
Or just not on Earth, because he was just going to.
No, the universe, dude. It was the universe.
Because they didn't show other planets.
Yes, they did.
They did? Oh, I got to go watch that movie again.
So you have Earth, where the Wakanda battle was, but then you have Titan.
Oh, yeah, that's right, too.
Where
Spider-Man died. And
yes.
Yeah. And
he also said the universe. They said universe multiple times.
good point.
Yes. So, another thing I really like about Ant-Man was the scale was
I'm a little
lot-
off my game today. Long day at work.
Whatever. The scale was smaller. Like the universe wasn't in danger, and it was real refreshing. Like can you imagine if every movie was the universe is in danger? It would
Right.
be exhausting. So I like that this was a small scale thing. It was mostly just them trying to escape the FBI, and that's all it was really.
Right.
And them trying to save Janet.
Yeah, just focusing on that into the quantum realm.
Yeah. And it wasn't like if we don't do this, the world ends. It's like if we don't
just want to get
we just want to get our mom back.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
That's all it was, and it was nice and it was refreshing, and I like that it's smaller scale. And I think that's another reason why Spider-Man: Homecoming was so good, because it was so small scale.
Right.
It wasn't the world is going to end; it was my world will end, type of deal. And why Spider-Man 2 I think is so good for the same reason. and why why the Dark Knight, for the same reason. It's not the world is going to end; it's Batman worlds will end, right?
Yeah.
And I think that those make a really good and a really compelling story.
Right, when they're localized like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not the grand scale stuff of of the Avengers.
Right. Those do work, and those can.
Yeah, because they have to, because it's such a big movie.
They have to, but they don't have to, because think of Civil War. Civil War wasn't the world is going to end; it's the Avengers are going to end.
Right, and that worked out very well.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's it. I don't have much else to say.
No,
you stayed for the after credits scene.
I did.
What was that? What
that
happened?
was when they disappeared.
No. Did you say after the credits, or no, that's the mid credits scene?
No, we didn't say for the final thing.
All it is just an ant playing drums and then a bunch of destruction, pretty much.
I saw it on YouTube. It was just,
but it helps. Like scenes like that, I don't think are worth staying through the credits for. But it adds to the universe, like the shawarma scene at the end of Avengers when they're all just eating shawarma. Like that's not necessary. It's kind of a throwaway joke, but it just adds to the characters, and you have these nice character moments.
Right.
And that's a similar thing for this. There's character development for the ant.
So, again, go see it.
Good. It was fun.
Go see Ant-Man. I
really liked it.
You will enjoy it. It's a nice family.
Where
movie.
would you put this in the list of Marvel movies?
Yeah, probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, right about that. I think I liked it more than Doctor Strange. I think I liked it less than Infinity War, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Ragnarok, Black Panther. But I think it's underneath all those. I don't know what order those ones are in though.
Is it
and Avengers? Do you like it better or worse than the first one?
I like it better than the first one.
You do?
Yeah,
I do too. I think.
Yep. And I like it better than
I think the first one was more charming, but I do. The Wasp was so good in this, man.
I like it better than the Hulk.
It was. Excuse me? You take that back.
The Hulk with Ed Norton.
The Hulk with Lou Ferrigno.
The TV.
Yeah, the TV show.
The TV movie, and then the show.
The Wasp was a huge part of this movie.
Which reminds me, I have to show you when Thor, Lou Ferrigno, on television fought. Excuse me. Take
the Hulk.
That back. Rewind. The Hulk, played by Lou Ferrigno on television, fought Thor.
Which Thor? Who was Thor?
Thor. The Thor.
Okay, but who was playing Thor?
I have no idea who it was.
Oh, okay.
It was in the 80s, and it was so hysterical. Like, the helmet didn't even fit.
Damn.
It's not even close to. It was kind of funny.
So,
I'm going to have to show you that on YouTube.
The Wasp was the Wasp was like the main, like, obviously the main character. She's in the title. But she had a bigger part than Ant-Man did.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it was so good.
Yeah, they did a great job with her character.
Like I would love a movie of just her.
Maybe
like a just a Wasp blood. Like she was so good in this.
Yeah, you really can't have the two of them separate.
No, I understand.
Kind of like
I understand, but I'm just saying I liked her so much. Like she did such a great job, and the Wasp was so well done in this. I also really like the costumes, all of the costumes for all three of the super guys in this.
Yep, it was again entertaining. I highly
well done. It was
recommend
fun.
it. So
it's fun.
It was fun, entertaining, family friendly.
The car chase was really fun too. When he's like using it as like a scooter. Ant-Man is.
Oh, Ant-Man's using the truck as a scooter, and then some inventive ways too. So they shrink the car down, and then they enlarge it to blow and go under a car. Like, and then they blow it up to throw the car above them away.
All of the shrinking and growing in this was great. Not just by the characters, but the objects too. Like it was so good.
Yep, everything was good. I liked it. I really did.
I did too. I had a lot of fun with this.
Go see Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Pops, what's your movie recommendation for this week?
I think I'm going to go, maybe not so much a movie. I forgot after we talked a television series.
Okay.
That I think I've made my recommendations in the past. Totally unrelated to the topic we talked about today. but I just forgot that I had seen this on Netflix and how good it was. And it is a series called Godless. It's a Western.
And we talked about this, right? Last week, I think.
I don't think we talked about Godless, did we?
I think we talked about... I don't know if we talked about it in depth, but I think it came up.
Yeah, well, that's going to be my recommendation.
Okay.
I forgot how good that was.
What's Godless about?
So it's a Western. It's about,
Thanks.
No, it's about this guy that is part of a gang, and then he becomes on his own, and the gang is, he doesn't agree with what the gang's doing anymore, and he basically the gang is like ruthless, just torching towns, killing everybody, doesn't matter who you are, and then this is the one guy they fear. Because of how good he is with a gun and everything else. So he comes back and basically, you know, starts to dismantle that gang, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's really
cool.
It's really
How
good.
long is it? It's
8 episodes.
One season?
Yeah, only one
hour
season
long
so far. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Godless.
Sweet. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Next week will be a pre-recorded episode. Like, we won't record that one the week of or the day before because I'll be on vacation. Hopefully, I'll get the upload and everything okay. We'll see how that goes. Check us out on Facebook. We don't have Facebook. We don't have a Facebook. Check us out on Spotify or iTunes or YouTube or Google Play. Any of those platforms you can listen to us on. You give us a 5-star rating, we'll read it on the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening. My name is Ian. I am the son.
My name is Paul, and I am the father.
And this has been our podcast. All right, welcome to the My Hero Academia segment, everybody. It's back, baby! I honestly don't know if there's an episode for next week. This might have been the end of the season. I have not the slightest clue, but we'll find out.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot going on in this episode.
There was a lot going on.
Well, you know what I mean.
There wasn't a lot
of action, right?
Right.
So, well, why don't you set it up?
Okay. All Might's done. He's retired. His power's gone. He and Eraserhead are going to all the students' parents, trying to convince the parents to let their kids stay in the dorms at UA. And I was wrong about this episode. I thought All Might was going to have like a press conference. He doesn't. Which makes total sense, because if he had said something, then all of the villains would have been like, all right, let's do this. Let's take over everything. So you have some really cool moments from a lot of the parents. Like, pretty much all of the parents are on board. You've got, I forget her name, but the girl with the earphone jacks, her parents are on board. You've got Bakugo's parents are so pumped about it. And you also understand why Bakugo is the way he is from that scene. And you also have this really, really intense character moment with Bakugo where he goes and talks to All Might, like, in the most calm I've ever heard him. What's up with you and Deku? And All Might's like, basically like, he's a student, you know? Just buy it for now. And then Bakugo's like, if you don't want to tell me, that's fine. And then just walks away. And he thanks him. Like, in the most calm, sincere voice I've ever heard Bakugo talk. He goes, thank you. And then walks away. And then you go to Todoroki's house. His parents are like, heck yeah, go for it. We also see Endeavor is heated because...
Oh, I can't believe he did that.
Endeavor is, like, he's been striving for something for so long, and he finally gets it, but he didn't get it in the way that he wants, so he is not happy. He is furious.
Right, because he basically is number one by default.
Yeah, right.
And he didn't want it that way. He wanted to earn it.
Exactly. He wanted to earn it. He wanted to get it on his merits and not because somebody else failed, which is what his words. And then they go to Izuku's house, or All Might goes alone this time, and he goes to talk to Izuku's mother, and she is not having it, which I expected completely. What did you expect her to be for it?
No, but in the end, you know, I like the scene. I like where it shows, he's going to be a hero no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't care if he's going to be in school or not. He's going to train to become a hero on his own, like he did to begin with.
I forgot about the note. I forgot about that note that Coda had written him.
Yeah,
like
from Coda. And then
I'm sorry I punched you in the balls.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. And then then All Might, kind of vows to say, I will train him no matter what.
Yep.
Period. I want to be his personal teacher.
He tells his mother, like, not only is this a good kid, like, he will be my successor.
Yeah, right. So then she finally concedes or grants him permission to go to the school. So,
which
I think that's the final episode. I think that's setting up the next season.
Yeah, there might be 1 or 2 episodes after this, but I don't know. I'll have to check and we'll find out. Either way, next episode there won't be any My Hero talk because, like I said, it'll be pre-recorded. But the following week we'll be back in full swing with either My Hero or Cowboy Bebop because we're going to start that.
Cowboy Bebop?
Yes, dude. You know what? I'll read you. You know what? Right now.
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
I'll watch 1 episode. That's it.
No, 1 episode, man.
I'm gonna watch 1 episode and see if I'll get to episode.
It took you 4 episodes to get into My Hero.
Well,
we'll give this one. We'll give this one 4. Also, come on.
I gotta get through Luke Cage first.
Get through. I'll be on vacation next week, man. You got plenty of time to get through Luke Cage. If you're not done with Luke Cage by the time I get back from vacation, that's your fault.
I probably won't be.
I
got too much stuff to do.
I got stuff to do. You said. Are you kidding me? How about instead of sleeping so much?
That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't sleep enough.
No, the problem is you sleep too much.
No, that's
you don't
not
need
true at
sleep. Stay awake 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Dad. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I really like this episode, though.
Yeah, it was good. I think it was a good end of the season.
It was.
Was it end of the beginning of the end, or something like that?
End of. Yes.
So does that mean like it's going to be final season?
No, I don't think it means that. I think it was talking about the hero era. I think is what it was talking about, where the heroes are reigning, and I think the villains are now going to start rising up and ruining everything. I think that's what it was referring to.
All right.
Or it could be referring to the end of Izuku's training. It could also be referring to the end of All Might. So many different things it could be talking about. It could be talking about the end of UA as a school. We have no idea. So many different things it could relate to.
Yeah, so it was a cool episode.
It was a really good episode.
Yep.
It wasn't intense like the last season has been, but it was a good episode where we saw a lot of how we kind of understand why some of these characters are the way they are. There's a lot of character development for some of these characters as well. Like Endeavor, there was a lot of development in just that short scene he was in. There was a lot of development for Bakugo in that short scene he was in. There was a lot of development for Izuku, as there has been throughout the series. Also, is that Ida's real mustache?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I thought it was just part of the costume, but then everybody's back in their normal clothes and he still has the mustache.
Maybe he could have a mustache, yeah. I don't know. I didn't even notice.
Cool, though. I like the episode a lot, as I said multiple times. I'm excited for
next episode or next season, one or the other.
I'm excited. Listen, the manga is still going, so there's definitely going to be more seasons. That hasn't ended yet, so I don't think that the anime is not going to end anytime soon. But it's so good. I love this show, man. It's such a good show.
Yeah, it is. I'm into it.
I'm so glad I got you into this, man.
Are
you not glad I got you into this? Like,
no, I like the fact that we watch it.
Yeah,
together.
But
I do.
But also, if one day you were scrolling through and you happen to just watch this, like, it's such a good show.
Right.
Especially if you're into superheroes. This is such a great superhero story.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I was talking about this with some of my friends the other day. I think All Might is a better Superman than Superman is. I think All Might is a better symbol of hope and peace than Superman is.
No, you really can't compare the two.
Absolutely, you can. Yeah. How can you not?
A symbol of hope. Because it's so over the top. Like, it's so...
So is Superman.
Yeah, but not in this sense.
Are you kidding me?
It's too much of, like...
You know, Superman's S literally means hope, like that.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And you're saying that's not over the top? You're telling me that an S the origin of that is before Superman,
The
and
word
then,
is, it means
and then it
hope.
was retconned to mean hope in Kryptonian. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. That's not over the top. You telling me Superman lifting a book of infinite pages is not over the top? You telling me Superman holding a black hole in his fist is not over the top?
Okay.
Come on, man. I like All Might more than I like Superman. I think Superman would beat All Might in a fight, but I like All Might more than I like Superman.
I like Superman.
That's fair. You also have always liked Superman.
Always. Him and Captain America.
This is true.
DC, Marvel, those are my two favorites.
That's all there really is.
No, you know what I mean.
I know. I get you. Okay. That's really it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. See you next week.
Have a great day.